We've all felt it, that chill down the spine when the big C word is uttered. Cancer. It's a word that evokes fear and uncertainty. But what if our daily choices, particularly what we eat, play a significant role? The link between diet and cancer is well documented. Chronic inflammation is a breeding ground for many diseases, including cancer, and what we eat directly impacts inflammation levels. It's about making informed choices that empower us. The most powerful weapon against cancer might be in our kitchens. It's time to expose the hidden enemies in our pantries. Imagine a microscopic battlefield within your own body. On one side, you have your healthy cells working tirelessly to keep you alive and thriving. On the other side, rogue cancer cells are multiplying, attempting to hijack your system. Every day, this silent war rages on. Now, imagine supplying the enemy with ammunition. That's precisely what we might be doing when we consume foods that fuel cancer cell growth. These foods often appear harmless, even tempting on supermarket shelves. But behind their appealing facades lies a dangerous truth. Think about it. Those crispy fries, that juicy burger, that sugary soda. They might taste good, but they often contain hidden ingredients that act like fertilizer for cancer cells. These ingredients, often disguised under complex names, can stimulate cancer cell growth, weaken your body's defenses, and tip the scales in favor of disease. The good news, just as we can unknowingly aid the enemy, we can also choose to empower our internal defense forces. By understanding which foods to avoid and which to embrace, we can shift the balance of power in favor of health and vitality. Navigating the world of nutrition can feel like wandering through a labyrinth. Conflicting information bombards us from every direction. One day, coffee is a villain. The next, it's a health hero. This constant barrage of conflicting advice can be overwhelming, leading to confusion and, ultimately, inaction. But here's the truth. You don't need a PhD in nutrition to make healthy choices. It's about arming yourself with basic knowledge and a healthy dose of skepticism. It's about looking beyond flashy headlines and trendy diets and focusing on the science. Remember, knowledge is power. Understanding how certain foods impact our bodies at a cellular level empowers us to make informed decisions. It's time to cut through the noise and equip ourselves with the tools to identify the true culprits lurking in our kitchens. Let's embark on this journey together. Let's demystify the science, debunk the myths, and empower ourselves to make choices that support our health and well-being. The kitchen is often seen as the heart of the home, a place of warmth, nourishment, and connection, but it can also be our greatest ally in the fight against cancer. Think of it as your personal health headquarters, a place where every ingredient is a potential weapon or an instrument of healing. This isn't about deprivation or adopting a restrictive diet. It's about making simple swaps, embracing whole foods, and rediscovering the joy of cooking. It's about transforming your kitchen into a haven of health where every meal is a step towards a healthier, more vibrant you. Let's clear out the processed, the sugary, and the refined and stock our shelves with nature's finest weapons, vibrant fruits and vegetables bursting with antioxidants, whole grains packed with fiber, and healthy fats that nourish our cells. Remember, every time you step into the kitchen, you have an opportunity to make a choice. You can choose to nourish your body or unwittingly feed disease. The power lies in your hands. Let's use it wisely. The processed paradox: convenience at what cost? Let's face it, in today's fast-paced world, convenience often trumps everything else. Who has time for elaborate meals when you're juggling work, family, and a social life? Enter processed foods, the ultimate time savers. They're quick, easy, and always within arm's reach. But are they really as harmless as they seem? Here's the catch. These seemingly innocent snacks and ready meals often harbor a dark secret. They're loaded with additives, preservatives, and artificial ingredients designed to extend shelf life and enhance flavor, but at a hidden cost. These ingredients, while deemed safe by regulatory bodies, can wreak havoc on our health over time. Take a closer look at the ingredient list of your favorite chips or cookies. You'll likely find a cocktail of chemicals with unpronounceable names. These additives serve a purpose in food production, but their long-term effects on our bodies are often overlooked. Some of these additives have been linked to inflammation, oxidative stress, and even DNA damage, setting the stage for cancer cell growth. It's not about demonizing all processed foods. There are healthier options available, but it's about being aware of the potential risks associated with excessive consumption of these convenient yet potentially harmful food products. It's about reading labels, making informed choices, and prioritizing whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible. Decoding the ingredient list, unmasking the culprits. Let's play detective for a moment. Grab your favorite snack and flip it over to the ingredient list. See that long list of words that sound like they belong in a chemistry textbook? That's our first clue. Remember, the shorter and simpler the ingredient list, the better. Look for common offenders like artificial colors and sweeteners. Artificial colors like yellow number 5 or red number 40. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin and sucralose, and preservatives like sodium nitrite in processed meats. Don't be overwhelmed. Familiarize yourself with common culprits. Use apps to help decipher food labels and make healthier choices. The sugar rush feeding cancer's sweet tooth, sugar. It's the ultimate comfort food, the quick fix for a bad day, the star ingredient in countless treats. We all have a sweet tooth to some extent, but what if our love affair with sugar is secretly fueling the very disease we fear most? Here's the bitter truth. Cancer cells have a sweet tooth too. They thrive on glucose, the simple sugar our bodies break down from carbohydrates. While our healthy cells need glucose for energy, cancer cells have a voracious appetite, consuming it at an alarming rate. Excessive sugar intake creates a sugar rush in our bloodstream, leading to a spike in insulin, a hormone that helps regulate blood sugar levels. Chronically high insulin levels can create an environment that favors cancer cell growth and proliferation. Think beyond the obvious culprits like candy bars and sodas. Hidden sugars lurk in seemingly healthy foods like yogurt, granola bars, and even salad dressings. These added sugars contribute to our overall sugar intake, often without us even realizing it. Artificial sweeteners, a wolf in sheep's clothing. In our quest to cut back on sugar, we often turn to artificial sweeteners, those seemingly guilt-free alternatives that promise sweetness without the calories. But are these artificial sweeteners the allies we think they are? Or are they wolves in sheep's clothing posing hidden dangers to our health? The allure of artificial sweeteners is undeniable. They allow us to indulge in our favorite treats without the guilt of added sugar. But emerging research suggests that these sweeteners might not be as benign as we once thought. Some studies suggest a link between artificial sweetener consumption and an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly bladder cancer. While more research is needed to fully understand the long-term effects of artificial sweeteners, it's crucial to approach them with caution. Remember, these are synthetic compounds that our bodies are not designed to process. Instead of relying on artificial sweeteners, consider gradually reducing your overall sugar intake. Retrain your taste buds to appreciate the natural sweetness of fruits and explore alternative sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit in moderation. Trans fats, a heartbreaker and cancer's accomplice. Trans fats, those notorious artery-clogging culprits, have long been vilified for their role in heart disease. But their rap sheet doesn't end there. These unhealthy fats have also been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, adding another layer of concern to their already tarnished reputation. Trans fats, also known as partially hydrogenated oils, are created through a process that turns liquid oils into solid fats, increasing the shelf life and stability of processed foods. They're commonly found in fried foods, baked goods, margarine, and other processed snacks. These franken fats wreak havoc on our bodies by increasing inflammation, oxidative stress, and insulin resistance, all of which create a fertile ground for cancer cell growth. Thankfully, awareness about the dangers of trans fats has grown in recent years, leading to regulations limiting their use in food products. However, they can still be found lurking in some processed foods. Always check the ingredient list and avoid products containing partially hydrogenated oils. Processed meats, a smoking gun. Processed meats. Those savory sausages, juicy bacon strips, and convenient deli meats. They're a staple in many diets, often gracing breakfast plates, sandwiches, and charcuterie boards. But behind their enticing flavors lies a sobering truth. Processed meats have been classified as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there's sufficient evidence linking them to cancer. Processed meats undergo various methods of preservation, including salting, curing, smoking, and adding chemical preservatives. While these methods enhance flavor and extend shelf life, they also create harmful compounds that can damage our cells and increase cancer risk. One of the main culprits is heterocyclic amines, formed when meat is cooked at high temperatures such as grilling, frying, or barbecuing. HCAs have been shown to damage DNA and promote cancer cell growth, particularly in the colon, rectum, and pancreas. Another concern is nitrites and nitrates, often added to processed meats to preserve color and prevent bacterial growth. While not inherently carcinogenic, these compounds can form cancer-causing nitrosamines when cooked or digested. Moderation is key. Enjoy these meats sparingly and explore healthier protein sources like fish, poultry, beans, lentils, and tofu. Simple swaps for a healthier plate. Knowledge is empowering. You're now equipped with valuable insights. Let's translate this knowledge into action. 1. Become a label detective. Pay attention to the ingredient list. 2. Prioritize fresh fruits and vegetables. 3. Cooking at home gives you control. Experiment with new recipes. 4. Be mindful of your sugar intake. 5. Enjoy processed meats sparingly. Every small step towards a healthier diet is a step in the right direction. The sugar conspiracy, a silent epidemic. Remember those Saturday morning cartoons with their colourful boxes of sugary cereals promising adventure in every bowl? We've come a long way since then, haven't we? Or have we? The truth is, sugar has quietly woven itself into the fabric of our modern diets, lurking in places we least expect. It's no secret that we, as a society, are battling a sugar addiction. From sugary drinks to processed snacks, we're bombarded with temptations at every turn. But here's the thing, this isn't just about weight gain or tooth decay anymore. We're facing a silent epidemic, one that's fueling a far more sinister threat, cancer. For decades, the dangers of sugar were downplayed. We were told fat was the enemy and sugar was just a harmless indulgence. But as science has progressed, so has our understanding of this addictive substance. We now know that sugar isn't just empty calories, it's a potent driver of inflammation, a key player in the development of chronic diseases, including cancer. Cancer's sweet tooth, the science behind the craving. Imagine cancer cells as microscopic Pac-Men, relentlessly gobbling up glucose, the simplest form of sugar for energy. Now picture this. Every time we indulge in that sugary drink or that slice of cake, we're essentially throwing fuel on the fire, giving those rogue cells exactly what they need to thrive. Here's the science behind it. Cancer cells have a metabolic advantage over normal cells. They have an insatiable appetite for glucose and can process it at an alarming rate, even in the absence of oxygen. This process, known as aerobic glycolysis or the Warburg effect, is a hallmark of cancer. By providing a constant supply of sugar, we're essentially creating a buffet for cancer cells, allowing them to multiply and spread at an accelerated pace. It's like giving a supercharged engine premium fuel. It's only going to make it run faster and more aggressively. Beyond the obvious unmasking hidden sugars, we all know the usual suspects: candy bars, sodas, desserts, but sugar is a master of disguise, lurking in seemingly innocuous foods, hiding behind misleading labels and deceiving our taste buds. These hidden sugars, often added to enhance flavor and extend shelf life, are the true culprits, silently contributing to our overall sugar intake without us even realizing it. Take a stroll down the grocery store aisles and you'll find sugar hiding in plain sight. From flavored yogurt and granola bars to salad dressings and pasta sauces, sugar has infiltrated our food supply, making it challenging to escape its clutches. Even foods marketed as healthy or low-fat often compensate for flavor by adding sugar. These deceptive marketing tactics can lead us astray, making us believe we're making healthy choices when, in reality, we're unknowingly feeding the sugar monster. Insulin, the double-edged sword. Insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, is often portrayed as the villain in the story of weight gain and metabolic disease. But insulin isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's essential for life. It acts like a key, unlocking our cells to allow glucose to enter and provide energy. Here's where things get tricky. When we consume excessive amounts of sugar, our bodies release a surge of insulin to deal with the influx of glucose. Over time, our cells become less responsive to insulin signals, leading to a condition called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a slippery slope. It forces our pancreas to work harder, churning out even more insulin to keep blood sugar levels in check. This chronic elevation of insulin creates a pro-inflammatory environment, setting the stage for a cascade of health problems, including cancer. From sugar rush to chronic inflammation, a recipe for disaster. Remember that sugar rush you get after indulging in a sugary treat? That temporary feeling of euphoria is often followed by a crash, leaving you feeling sluggish and craving more. But what happens inside our bodies during this roller coaster ride is far from harmless. Each sugar spike triggers an inflammatory response, like a mini-fire erupting within our bodies. While our bodies are equipped to handle occasional inflammation, chronic low-grade inflammation is a different story. It's like having a fire smoldering within, slowly damaging our cells and tissues over time. This chronic inflammation creates a breeding ground for disease, including cancer. It weakens our immune system, impairs DNA repair, and fuels the growth of abnormal cells, increasing the risk of tumor development and progression. Breaking free from sugar's grip, reclaiming your health. The good news is we have the power to break free from sugar's grip. It's not about deprivation or following restrictive diets. It's about making conscious choices that support our long-term health and well-being. It's about reclaiming our health, one less teaspoon of sugar at a time. Start by raising awareness. Become a sugar detective, scrutinizing food labels and uncovering hidden sugars. Challenge yourself to gradually reduce your sugar intake, allowing your taste buds to adjust to a less sweet palate. Embrace whole, unprocessed foods. Fill your plate with colorful fruits and vegetables, lean protein sources, and healthy fats. These nutrient-dense foods provide the building blocks for a healthy body without the harmful effects of added sugars. Remember, breaking free from sugar is a journey, not a destination. There will be challenges and temptations along the way, but the rewards of a healthier, more vibrant you are well worth the effort. Sweet alternatives. Enjoying treats without the trap. Here's the sweet truth. You can still enjoy treats and satisfy your sweet tooth without falling into the sugar trap. It's about making mindful choices and exploring natural alternatives that provide sweetness without the harmful consequences. Nature provides an abundance of sweet flavors. Indulge in the natural sweetness of fruits. Experiment with spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, or try unsweetened cocoa powder to add a chocolatey twist to your creations. If you're looking for sugar substitutes, explore natural options like stevia, monk fruit extract, or erythritol. These sweeteners, derived from plants, provide sweetness without the blood sugar spikes and insulin surges associated with sugar. Remember, moderation is key. Even natural sweeteners should be consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet. The goal is to retrain your taste buds to appreciate natural sweetness and break free from the addictive cycle of sugar cravings. The carnivore's dilemma, a love affair with risks. Let's face it, guys, there's something primal about a juicy steak sizzling on the grill. It's a symbol of strength, indulgence, and for many of us, a cornerstone of our culinary traditions. But as with many pleasures in life, our love affair with red meat, particularly processed varieties, might be harboring a hidden danger, one that extends far beyond just calories and cholesterol. For generations, a hearty cut of meat has graced our dinner tables, fueling our bodies and satisfying our carnivorous cravings. But in recent decades, a growing body of scientific evidence has begun to raise concerns about the potential link between red meat consumption and an increased risk of certain cancers. This isn't about turning vegetarian or demonizing a food group. It's about understanding the science, acknowledging the potential risks, and making informed choices that prioritize our long-term health and well-being. It's about finding a balance, enjoying meat in moderation, and exploring alternative protein sources that can add variety and nutritional value to our diets. Red meat under scrutiny, unpacking the evidence. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats, such as bacon, sausage, and hot dogs, as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning there's sufficient evidence linking them to cancer. Red meat, on the other hand, falls into the Group 2A category, classified as probably carcinogenic to humans. But what does this actually mean for our dietary choices? It means that while red meat isn't inherently bad, excessive consumption, particularly of processed varieties, has been associated with an increased risk of certain cancers, including colorectal, pancreatic, and prostate cancers. Numerous studies have explored this link, pointing to several potential mechanisms. One theory focuses on heme iron, a type of iron found abundantly in red meat. Heme iron is highly bioavailable, meaning our bodies absorb it easily, but it can also promote the formation of carcinogenic compounds called N-nitroso compounds in the gut. Another concern is the formation of heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons during high-heat cooking methods like grilling and barbecuing. These carcinogenic compounds have been linked to DNA damage and an increased risk of cancer. Processed meats, a double whammy for health. If red meat is under scrutiny, processed meats are squarely in the hot seat. These culinary conveniences, often laden with salt, preservatives, and artificial flavorings, pose a double whammy for our health, increasing the risk of both cancer and cardiovascular disease. The problem with processed meats lies not only in the meat itself, but also in the way they're processed and preserved. The addition of nitrates and nitrites, commonly used to preserve color and prevent bacterial growth, is a major concern. While not inherently carcinogenic, these compounds can be converted into cancer-causing nitrosamines in our bodies. Furthermore, processed meats are often high in sodium, saturated fat, and cholesterol, all of which contribute to heart disease, stroke, and other chronic health problems. The combination of these factors makes processed meats a particularly risky dietary choice. The BBQ, blues charring, and the carcinogen connection. There's nothing quite like the aroma of burgers and hot dogs sizzling on the grill on a warm summer evening. But as the flames lick the meat, creating those tempting char marks, a less appetizing process is taking place, the formation of carcinogenic compounds. As mentioned earlier, high-heat cooking methods like grilling, barbecuing, and frying can lead to the formation of heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These compounds are created when meat juices drip onto hot coals or cooking surfaces, producing smoke that contains these carcinogens. The good news is there are ways to minimize the formation of these harmful compounds. Marinating meat in acidic marinades containing vinegar or lemon juice can help reduce HCA formation. Grilling over lower heat, using a drip pan to catch juices and avoiding charring can also make a difference. Beyond the grill, finding flavor without the risk. Reducing our intake of red and processed meats doesn't mean we have to say goodbye to flavor and satisfaction. There are plenty of delicious and nutritious alternatives that can add variety and excitement to our plates. Fish, particularly fatty fish like salmon, tuna, and mackerel, are excellent sources of protein. Omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D. Poultry such as chicken and turkey are versatile protein sources that can be grilled, baked, or roasted. Don't underestimate the power of plant-based proteins. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, and tempeh are all excellent sources of protein, fiber, and essential nutrients. They can be incorporated into a variety of dishes, from hearty stews and chili to flavorful stir-fries and salads. Finding out the facts. Striking a balance. Iron is an essential mineral that plays a vital role in oxygen transport, energy production, and immune function. While red meat is an excellent source of iron, particularly heme iron, which is easily absorbed by our bodies, it's important to strike a balance. As mentioned earlier, heme iron has been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. Therefore, it's crucial to consume red meat in moderation and focus on incorporating other iron-rich foods into our diets. Plant-based sources of iron include leafy green vegetables, beans, lentils, tofu, and fortified cereals. While the iron in these foods is non-heme iron, which is not as easily absorbed, consuming these foods with a source of vitamin C, such as citrus fruits or bell peppers, can enhance iron absorption. Your plate, your choice. Navigating the meat maze. Navigating the world of meat consumption can feel like navigating a maze, with conflicting information and opinions coming at us from all directions. But remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the science and being mindful of our choices, we can enjoy the flavors we love while prioritizing our health. Here are some key takeaways to guide your journey. Moderation is key. Enjoy red meat in moderation, limiting consumption to no more than 18 ounces of cooked weight per week. Choose lean cuts. Opt for leaner cuts of meat and trim visible fat before cooking. Prioritize plant-based proteins. Incorporate more fish, poultry, beans, lentils, tofu, and tempeh into your diet. Cook smarter. Use lower heat cooking methods like baking, roasting, or stewing. If grilling or barbecuing, marinate meat. Avoid charring and use a drip pan. Listen to your body. Pay attention to how your body feels after consuming red meat. If you experience digestive discomfort or other adverse reactions, consider reducing your intake. Remember, every meal is an opportunity to nourish your body and make choices that support your long-term health and vitality. Dairy friend or foe? Debunking the calcium myth. Remember those iconic Got Milk ads with their milk-moustached celebrities? They were ingrained in our minds from a young age, equating dairy with strong bones and a healthy lifestyle. As kids, we guzzled down glasses of milk, believing it was the magic potion for growth and well-being. But what if this deeply ingrained belief, this dairy dogma, is shielding a more complex truth? Dairy, for many of us, holds a nostalgic place in our hearts and stomachs. It's comfort food, a breakfast staple, an ingredient woven into countless culinary creations. But as we delve deeper into the science of nutrition and its impact on our health, particularly concerning cancer risk, it's time to question long-held assumptions and examine dairy's role with a critical eye. The prevailing narrative, often fueled by industry marketing, emphasizes dairy's calcium content, portraying it as an indispensable source for strong bones. While it's true that dairy contains calcium, an essential mineral for bone health, it's not the only source, nor is it without its drawbacks. Emerging research suggests that dairy consumption, particularly in large amounts, might be associated with an increased risk of certain cancers, challenging the long-held belief in its health halo. Milk's underbelly: hormones, growth factors, and cancer risks. Milk, nature's elixir designed to nourish newborn mammals, is a complex cocktail of nutrients, hormones, and growth factors. While these components are essential for the growth and development of infants, their effects on adult humans, particularly concerning cancer risk, are a topic of ongoing scientific debate. One area of concern is the presence of hormones in milk, particularly insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1. IGF-1 is a hormone that plays a crucial role in childhood growth and development, but in adults, elevated levels of IGF-1 have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, including prostate, breast, and colorectal cancers. Dairy products are also a source of bovine growth hormones, naturally occurring hormones that help regulate milk production in cows. While the levels of these hormones in dairy products are generally considered safe for human consumption, some experts believe that even small amounts may have biological effects on our bodies, potentially influencing cancer cell growth. Beyond the glass unveiling hidden dairy in unexpected places. Dairy's reach extends far beyond the milk aisle. It's a ubiquitous ingredient, finding its way into countless processed foods, baked goods, sauces, and even seemingly savory snacks. This widespread presence can make it challenging to track our dairy intake, especially if we're trying to reduce consumption due to health concerns. Hidden sources of dairy can lurk in unexpected places. For example, whey protein, a popular ingredient in protein bars and shakes, is derived from milk. Casein, another milk protein, is often found in processed foods as a binding agent or emulsifier. Lactose, the sugar naturally found in milk, can also be added to foods for sweetness or texture. When trying to reduce dairy intake, it's crucial to become a label detective. Scrutinize ingredient lists carefully, looking for telltale signs of hidden dairy such as whey, casein, lactose, milk solids, or milk fat. Opting for whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible can help minimize exposure to hidden dairy sources. Alcohol's sneaky assault, from social lubricant to cellular saboteur. Let's talk about alcohol, that social lubricant that often accompanies good times and celebrations. A cold beer after work, a glass of wine with dinner, a celebratory toast with friends. Alcohol is deeply ingrained in our social fabric. But behind its convivial facade, alcohol harbors a dark secret, one that can wreak havoc on our health, increasing the risk of several diseases, including cancer. Alcohol, in all its forms, is a known carcinogen. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IIRC, classifies alcohol as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there's sufficient evidence linking it to cancer in humans. This classification puts alcohol in the same category as tobacco smoke and asbestos, underscoring its potent cancer-causing potential. But how does alcohol, a seemingly innocuous social beverage, transform into a cellular saboteur? The answer lies in the way our bodies metabolize alcohol. When we consume alcohol, our bodies break it down into acetaldehyde, a toxic substance that can damage DNA, impair DNA repair mechanisms, and disrupt cellular signaling pathways, setting the stage for cancer development. The dose dilemma, how much is too much? The relationship between alcohol consumption and cancer risk is complex, influenced by factors such as the type of alcohol consumed, the amount and frequency of consumption, genetics, and overall health status. While the adage, everything in moderation, often holds true, when it comes to alcohol and cancer risk, there's no truly safe level of consumption. Research suggests that even moderate alcohol consumption can increase the risk of certain cancers, including breast, colorectal, liver, esophageal, and head and neck cancers. The more you drink, the higher the risk. For some cancers, such as breast cancer, the risk increases even with small amounts of alcohol consumption. It's important to note that the risks associated with alcohol consumption are not limited to cancer. Alcohol is also a major risk factor for heart disease, stroke, liver disease, pancreatitis, and accidents and injuries. Breaking free from the bottle, finding your flavor elsewhere, reducing alcohol consumption or even eliminating it altogether can be a daunting prospect, especially if it's deeply ingrained in our social lives and routines. But it's a choice that can have profound implications for our health and well-being. The good news is there are plenty of delicious and satisfying alternatives to alcoholic beverages. Explore the world of mocktails, creative concoctions that mimic the flavors and complexities of cocktails without the alcohol content. Experiment with infused waters, adding slices of fruits, cucumbers, or herbs for a refreshing twist. If you're accustomed to having a drink to unwind after work, try replacing it with a healthy ritual that promotes relaxation and stress reduction, such as a warm bath, a good book, or a calming meditation session. Your body, your blueprint. Listening to your inner guide. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to consume dairy or alcohol is a personal one, influenced by a variety of factors, including personal preferences, cultural norms, health goals, and individual risk factors. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and what works for one person may not work for another. The key is to approach these choices with awareness, armed with the knowledge to make informed decisions that align with our individual needs and priorities. Listen to your body, pay attention to how it responds to different foods and beverages, and don't be afraid to adjust your choices accordingly. Remember, your body is your blueprint, and you are the architect of your health. By making conscious choices that nourish your body and minimize potential risks, you can create a masterpiece of well-being. We've journeyed deep into the trenches of our kitchens, uncovering hidden enemies and understanding the silent war raging within our bodies. It might feel overwhelming, this awareness of potential dangers lurking in foods we once considered harmless. But let's shift our perspective from fear to empowerment. Remember, knowledge is power, and we now possess the tools to transform our plates from potential battlegrounds into potent arsenals of defense. Imagine your body as a fortress, designed with intricate defense mechanisms to ward off invaders and maintain optimal function. Now, picture your plate as the supply line, delivering the vital resources needed to strengthen those defenses and fuel the troops fighting for your health. Every time we choose a piece of fruit over a sugary snack, opt for a grilled piece of fish instead of processed meat, or swap that soda for a refreshing glass of water, we're making a conscious decision to fortify our defenses, empowering our bodies to fight back against disease. It's about making every bite count, transforming our meals into opportunities to nourish, strengthen, and protect our most valuable asset, our health. The journey towards a healthier, more resilient you extends far beyond the confines of our kitchens. It's about embracing a holistic approach to well-being, one that acknowledges the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, and emotional states. Just as we carefully select the ingredients that nourish our bodies, we must also be mindful of the thoughts we entertain, the stress we carry, and the connections we foster. Chronic stress, for instance, weakens our immune systems and creates a breeding ground for disease, much like a diet laden with processed foods and sugar. Incorporate stress-reducing practices into your daily routine, whether it's through meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, or simply taking a few moments for deep breathing exercises. Nurture your social connections, engage in activities that bring you joy, and prioritize quality sleep. Remember, a healthy life is a tapestry woven from many threads, each one contributing to the overall strength and vibrancy of the fabric. As men, we often feel a sense of responsibility, a desire to protect and provide for those we care about. This sense of duty extends beyond our immediate families to our communities and the world around us. And just as we strive to be role models in our personal and professional lives, we can also become ambassadors for health and well-being, inspiring positive change in our circles of influence. Share your knowledge with friends and family, invite them to join you on your health journey, and lead by example. Host a healthy potluck, organize a group hike, or simply start a conversation about the importance of making conscious food choices. Small ripples of change, when multiplied, have the power to create waves of transformation, impacting not only our own lives but the lives of those around us. Remember, change doesn't happen in isolation. It takes a collective effort, a shared commitment to creating a healthier, more vibrant world for ourselves and generations to come. Our health is not just a personal matter. It's a legacy we pass down to our children, our loved ones, and the future generations that follow. By making conscious choices today, by embracing a lifestyle that prioritizes nourishment and well-being, we're not just investing in our own vitality, but shaping a brighter, healthier future for those who matter most. Let's face it, guys, we want to be there for the long haul. We want to witness our children's milestones, enjoy our passions with vigor, and age gracefully, our bodies and minds as strong and resilient as ever. This isn't about obsessing over every bite or living in fear of disease. It's about taking control, empowering ourselves with knowledge, and making informed choices that support our long-term health and vitality. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset. It's the foundation upon which you build your life, your relationships, and your legacy. Protect it, cherish it, and nourish it with the same dedication and determination you bring to every other aspect of your life. The journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you starts now, with every conscious choice, every mindful bite, and every step you take towards a future filled with vitality and well-being. Thanks for watching. Until next time, subscribe for more health and wellness tips.